my name is Nurzula Shahana binti Zulkifli. I will be presenting the company background of Shopee. Shopee is a Singapore-based e-commerce platform that mainly operates in Southeast Asia and Taiwan, with expansion into selected Latin American markets. It was launched in February 2015 under C Limited, which was formerly known as Garena. Shopee was developed with the aim of providing users with a simple, safe, and fast online shopping experience, especially through mobile applications. In terms of establishment and ownership, Shopee's full company name is Shopee Private Limited, and its headquarters is located at Singapore Science Park. The founder of C Limited is Forrest Lee, who currently serves as the chairman and chief executive officer. C Limited is a major international internet company and is listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Moving on to its business model, Shopee started as a consumer-to-consumer platform focusing on mobile users. Over time, it evolved into a hybrid consumer-to-consumer and business-to-consumer model, allowing both individuals, sellers, and large brands to sell on the platform. Shopee also provides secure payment systems and escrow services such as Shopee Guarantee to protect buyers, as well as strong logistics partnerships to ensure smooth deliveries. Lastly, Shopee has expanded across Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, the Philippines, and Taiwan, which are its core markets. It has also entered Brazil, marking its expansion beyond Asia. In conclusion, Shopee has successfully grown into one of the leading e-commerce platforms in the region.
Next, I will explain two major organizational development and change issues faced by Shopee in the post-pandemic era. First issue is sustaining rapid organizational growth and structural alignment. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Shopee experienced very rapid growth due to the MCO. Shopee became the #1 e-commerce platform in Malaysia, recording approximately 47.33 million monthly visitors. In addition, Shopee worked with over 1,000 brands and around 800,000 sellers, which shows how large and fast the platform expanded. However, this growth happened much faster than normal organizational adaptation. From an OD and change perspective, this created structural strain within the organization. Shopee faced difficulties in aligning multiple departments, logistic partners, sellers, and even technology systems at the same time. As a result, Shopee had to continuously restructure its processes, workflows, and technological systems to ensure smooth operations. These issues highlight an important lesson from organizational development. Rapid success still requires continuous diagnosis, alignment, and system improvement to sustain long-term performance. I will discuss issue 2, which adapting to behavioral change and resistant to change. During the pandemic, consumer behavior changed significantly. According to the article, online orders increased by 58%, while offline shopping decreased by 46%. Customers also developed new expectations, such as faster delivery, digital payments, and live stream shopping. This situation placed pressure on both Shopee's employees and sellers. From an OD perspective, three key change problems emerged. First, there was resistance to new systems, as the sudden increase in online shopping forced users to adopt new digital platforms quickly. Second, skill and technology gaps appeared because many sellers lack digital skills, especially in online selling and live streaming. Third, change readiness issues occurred because the transformation was pandemic-driven, leaving very limited preparation time. In conclusion, Shopee's experience shows how organizations must manage both rapid growth and behavioral change effectively using organizational development principles.
We will now examine how Shopee addressed its first major organizational challenge, sustaining rapid growth while achieving a structural alignment. After the pandemic, Shopee realized that its previous grow at all cost strategy was no longer sustainable. the company was facing heavy losses across several markets. As a result, under the leadership of CEO Forrest Lee and the senior executive team, Shopee made a clear strategy shift toward cost control and profitability. This means making tough decisions. Shopee exits or scale down operations in less profitable regions, such as parts of Europe and Latin America, and redirect its resources toward core Southeast Asian markets and other high potential regions where it had stronger competitive advantage. To support this shift, Shopee simplified its organizational structure. Overlapping roles were consolidated, reporting lines were streamlined, and decision-making became faster and clearer. Most importantly, Shopee introduced clear role separation. Headquarters focus on platform strategy and technology, while country teams concentrate on execution, seller management, and local operation. This reduced confusion and coordination problems that had emerged during rapid expansion. Several change agents drove this process. Senior leadership set the strategic direction, regional leaders implemented change on the ground, and HR and audit teams developed training and support systems. To reduce seller anxiety, Shopee introduced the 4 free policies, lower commission benchmark, and launched 42 free training courses. As a result, C Group achieved full-year profitability by 2024. Coordination improved and seller confidence increased. Overall, Shopee successfully realigned its structure with its new profitability-focused strategy. Now, let's move to the second issue, managing behavioral change and resistance. When Shopee announced restructuring, layoff, and market exits, resistance was unavoidable. Around 7,000 employees were laid off in 2022, which created fear, uncertainty, and reduced trust in leadership. From an organizational development perspective, this reaction is expected, as people resist change when they feel vulnerable or lost control. To address this, Shopee's CEO and senior executive focused on transparent communication. They openly explained why the rapid growth model was no longer viable and emphasized that financial sustainability was necessary for long-term survival. This helped employees understand the reason behind the change rather than seeing it as punishment. At the same time, HR and audit teams launched people-focused initiatives, including leadership development programs, cross-functional collaboration, learning and wellness support, and community engagement projects. Examples include Selangor E-Bazaar Raya, Salam by Shopee, and the Shopee MMA Fund, which collected over 500,000 ringgit and demonstrated social responsibility during a difficult period. For sellers, Shopee continued offering 42 free training courses and operational guidance. Change agents operated at multiple levels. Senior leaders communicate direction. HR and audit specialists design interventions, and managers handle day-to-day resistance. From an audit perspective, Shopee treated resistance as diagnostic data rather than a problem to suppress. While earlier employee involvement could have strengthened commitment, overall, the approach reflects strong application of organizational development principles.
Now we'll present how the effective reaction will in sustaining rapid growth and strategic alignment. Starting with the effectiveness analysis, the action was largely successful in correcting the company overexpansion. The shift toward the stronger cost control helped to address the unsustainable cash burn, while structural alignment reduced the internal efficiency, most importantly achieving a profitable signals that the strategy was overall effective overall. So, was the change successful? In the medium to long term, yes. While there was short-term construction due to market access, the long-term outcome was improved financial stability. A clear organization structure also led to the better execution and accountability across teams. Moving to evaluation of intervention, these actions were justified. Core discipline were especially necessary in the post-pandemic environment. Exiting the unprofitable market reduced the strategic distraction, allowing the leadership to focus on the core region. Clear role between the headquarters and the county stream improved the accountability, and continuous seller support helped to reduce the ecosystem disruption. However, there were limitations. A broad market exit negatively affected employer branding and external perception, and aggressive cutting create a risk of slowing innovation. Finally, in the terms of recommendation and improvement, future exits should be phased rather than abrupt to minimize disruption. Cost control should be balanced with the ongoing investment in innovation. Using a data-driven performance threshold can be better execution, and the stronger early warning system can help to avoid expansion before it becomes a major risk.
Now, I will evaluate the effectiveness of Shopee's action in managing behavioral change and employee resistance. Shopee's approach to managing behavioral change was partially effective. The restructuring and layoffs created uncertainty, fear, and even resistance among employees, especially in the early stages of change. Many employees experienced reduced morale and trust toward the management. In short term, the change was not entirely successful, as resistance and emotional stress were underestimated. However, in the longer term, Shopee introduced transparent leadership communication, HR support initiatives, and even stronger managerial involvement, which gradually helped employees adapt to the new organization direction. I personally agree with the use of transparent communication and leadership involvement, as this intervention reduced uncertainty and clarified expectations. Managers played an important role in reinforcing new behaviors and rebuilding trust within teams. Engagement with sellers and even external stakeholders also helped stabilize the organizational culture. However, I partially disagree with how the layoffs were handled. The changes were perceived as abrupt, and employee psychological well-being was not sufficiently addressed at the beginning. This weakened trust and slowed behavioral acceptance. To improve effectiveness, Shopee could introduce stronger employee support systems such as counseling services, mental health programs, and more frequent feedback channels involving employees earlier in the change process, and using regular pulse surveys would also help identify resistance early. In conclusion, while behavioral change management eventually became effective, a more human-centered approach would have produced better outcomes.
In conclusion, Shopee experience showed the importance of balancing rapid growth with a strong organizational structure and effective change management. Its fast expansion during the pandemic created structural strain on employees and sellers. Through strategic restructuring, cost control, clearer role alignment, and effective communication, Shopee stabilized operation and ensured long-term sustainability. Although changes led to short-term challenges, behavioral and cultural initiatives help rebuild trust, demonstrate that successful recovery requires both strategic adaptation and continuous support for people. So that's all from our group. Thank you. Bye.